Hey folks, I'm Alex Bastyovanszky with your weekly look at what's happening in the Canadian Soccer League, and it was an interesting week to say the least, with Mother Nature wreaking havoc on the schedule as a few games were postponed due to bad weather. Not to worry though, we still managed to get highlights of a few games, and let's start off with a big one. Now last week, Anthony Totera and I were discussing the parity in the CSL this year and how on any given night, any team can win. A case in point, last Friday's game between Portugal and Hamilton. Now, in early July, Hamilton destroyed Portugal 5-0 at Lamport Stadium. In the rematch, however, it was a whole different story. Let's check out the highlights. No doubt revenge was on the mind of Portugal FC heading into this contest. The 5-0 defeat they suffered at the hands of Hamilton in July was their worst of the season by far. But right from the start, this Portugal team is different. Marko Bedenikovic gets lightly fouled by Hamilton, leading to a free kick. PFC makes the most of it. Andrea Lombardo feasts on the juicy rebound, knocks it home for a 1-0 lead after just 20 minutes of play. Hamilton tries to strike right back, and Aiden O'Keefe finds some room on the wing to roam here. He crosses for Jason Shannon, but his header floats just wide of the post, and then more from O'Keefe on the wing, and an even better chance for Shannon this time, but he blows the glorious chance over the bar. It goes right from in close there too. On to the second half we go. Preston Corporal has scored some amazing goals this year. He nearly adds to the collection. The shot from well out narrowly misses right there. Former Toronto FC player Andrea Lombardo was deadly in this game. Here he threads a beautiful cross inside, but his teammate can't finish, and it still remains a 1-0 game for Portugal. More Aiden O'Keefe now, more Corporal. Aiden feeds Preston, but again, shot off by just inches. Hamilton has a glorious chance late. Off the poor goal kick here, Portugal nearly gets burned. They press, but the blast by Hamilton goes off the crossbar and stays out. Portugal puts this baby to bed in the 88th minute. Beautiful ball movement, and of course, it's Lombardo on the receiving end of the pass. Gorgeous. Poorest defending by the Croats, and Lombardo makes it 2-0 PFC. Hamilton is left scratching their heads on how to hold this guy in check. He nearly gets the hat-trick in injury time as he fights off a defender, hammers this ball from well out, obviously surprises the heck out of Cameron McKay, who barely keeps the ball out. No hat-trick there, but PFC answers back in a big way after that huge loss in July. They respond with an emphatic 2-0 win over the Croats, on the road no less, while Hamilton's in a bit of a slide right now with losses in 3 straight games. Just a very well-organized team. Now,
absolutely.
We're going to touch on one more topic here, and it's something we brought up last week, the parity in the league, and we've got another great example of this. The game on Friday night between Portugal FC, which we saw in the highlights, Portugal FC, and Hamilton, Croatia. Now, the last time they played in early July, Hamilton walked right into Lamport Stadium and beat Portugal 5-0.
Wow.
This time, Portugal goes into Hamilton, and of course Hamilton's got great fan support and blanks Hamilton 2-0.
But this is also comes down to coaching as well, Alex. I mean, you see what happened in the first game. Hamilton spanked Portugal FC because Ronnie Davidson had his players ready and set to go. In the second game, you could see that Portugal FC and the veterans of their players adjusted and knew what they needed to do, and they put a win on the board.
They were just a little bit more prepared. Do you think
Absolutely.
Carmine had them a bit better prepared for that second game?
Absolutely, but the only thing is that parity has come, and also there has been some teams at the bottom, Alex, that have really struggled. But parity amongst, I would say, the top 7 or 8 teams has been there all year.
Yeah, of course, we've seen examples of London doing badly,
yes,
but then coming back and doing very well the next week. And I got one more example. We're running out of time, but Montreal Impact beating North York, the very young Impact team beating North York. We're just about out of time, but it's great to see the parity going on in the CSL.
Absolutely.
Anthony, once again, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Alex.
Great to have you aboard. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment.